Well, hello, Hillsboro Prayer Breakfast. This is Ralph Drollinger from Washington, D.C. A special hello to my old friend Frank Carpenter, who should be in the audience today. I'm Ralph Drollinger, president and founder of Capitol Ministries. We have ministries here in Washington, D.C., not only the White House cabinet members, but also the U.S. Senate members and the U.S. House of Representative members. We started the ministry about 20 years ago in the California state capitol, and then we began to branch to other state capitals. And 8 years ago, we came here to D.C. and rode in on the coattails of Congressman Trent Franks, who we knew from our ministry start in the state capital of Arizona. Trent gave us the birth here, and we are basically a Bible teaching ministry, and we had, I think, some depth of ministry with a lot of the members in the House for the first years we were here, and it so happened that some of those guys got elected to go into the Senate, and so they said, come on with us, let's start a Senate member Bible study. And I think we have about 30 guys that represent us, House members in the state House, or I should say the federal Capitol Ministry, and in the House, and we have about 12 that are in the Senate Bible study now. And just this last year, some of the guys in the Senate, some of the guys in the House ministry were appointed by President Trump to be in the cabinet. And so we have 12 actually cabinet members now in the White House Cabinet Member Bible Study. And all those meet weekly. Cabinet members all moved here, so they're here almost every week for that ministry. And then our House and Senate members are much more like a 38-week-a-year ministry when they're in session. And so our desire at Capitol Ministries is to make disciples amongst the political people group of not only American culture, but internationally. We've birthed ministries now in 24 federal capitals throughout the world. And we have ministries, I think, now in about 40 U.S. state capitals. Our big desire, too, in the future is to put ministries in local city government. There's about 40,000, like your little burg there, Hillsboro, which I've had the opportunity to travel to. I think you're home of the Nike campus. I once walked on the Nike campus with Converse shoes. That wasn't seen as too funny. I thought it was, but they didn't. Suffice to say, I know Frank and I have been around Hillsboro a lot together in the past when he started our ministry there in your Salem State Capitol building. Suffice to say, we have a lot of local city and county governments in America. There's actually 40,000 local city and county governments incorporated in America, and virtually none of them have outposts for Christ. And so what we're attempting to do at Capitol Ministries is start what we call CivicReach ministries, which would be outposts for Christ in local city government. And we think that that's probably one of the most important long-term ministries we can be about planting as a national parachurch organization, simply because city government leaders are much like, in a baseball diamond analogy, the guys that get up to bat, and some of them get to first base, which would be state capitol, some of them get to second base, which would be here in D.C., and then from D.C. you can really influence the federal capitals of the world, which we'd call third base in terms of our overall paradigm of ministry growth. So we're real intent now in the years ahead, Lord willing, to start ministries in local city and county governments. That looks like this. Basically get a pastor or someone who's an adept Bible teacher, discipler, to meet with 2 or 3 city council members at the local Denny's on Thursday morning and take them through good Bible teaching curricula in order to foster in them a Christian worldview. First of all, convert them to Christ through faith alone in Christ alone, through his grace alone, and then hopefully as they mature in Christ under a tutoring ministry of a good discipler, Bible teacher, they'll grow in Christ. Some of those guys will make it not only to influence their colleagues in city government, but some will end up in state capitals, some will end up here in D.C. in the federal capital. I think actually 75% of the guys in D.C. that come here were once in state capitals, and 75% of the guys that were in state capitals, roughly speaking, were in city government. So you can see how that works. And yet evangelicalism has sorely failed in creating an infrastructure of evangelism and discipleship to that affinity sphere in terms of creating an infrastructure that can mature men and women in Christ in government. And so that's what Capitol Ministries were all about. So every week I prepare a Bible study that's like 8 pages long, 52 of these a year. This one happens to be called Liberal Theology's Struggle with Modern Archaeology. And I'll use this, I was just teaching, came over from the Senate Bible study to lay down this tape for you. And I'm teaching through the Sermon on the Mount in all of my personal Bible studies with members, but then I give them something like this as homework. And you can get these actually online by just going to capmin.org and request the weekly Bible study and ministry updates from Capitol Ministries if you're interested. We're always looking for more partners to expand the work, and we're looking for guys that want to start ministries in local city and county government who are adept Bible teachers. So we have training, we have curricula in order to empower those would-be ministry leaders to local government to help them get a start to evangelize and disciple our next generation of political leaders that will end up here in D.C. And so I would like to thank you for welcoming me to your prayer breakfast this morning. Wish you the best, and thank you for your consideration and interest in Capitol Ministries. We think we're the only ministry that's really adept at teaching in-depth Bible studies to that target audience of our political leaders. And if God leads you to partner with us, just know we can always use more partners. I think too, Frank has handed out one of our annual reports, and there should be 1 or 2 of those, if not more, on every table this morning. Go ahead and take those with you. That'll give you a good overview of Capitol Ministries. Or you can just go to capmin.org and look us up there on the website, and that'll give you, through that in-depth website, a lot of information about CapMin that will help orient you to what we're doing. Well, God bless you, and thank you so much for welcoming me into your prayer breakfast this morning, and may God bless you, the leaders of Hillsboro, and the community. Thank you very much.